Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
Paul, was there any pieces of career advice that you wish you'd known earlier?
Quite possibly. I couldn't think exactly what the advice is, but yeah. I think when you start out in your career, you get your first job, you are probably very naive about the whole world of work.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think also it was different when we started to work than it is nowadays. I think when we started work, it was very much you started at the bottom and you worked your way up. And it's not quite like that these days, is it?
Why not?
I don't think there's the structure for working your way up. People change their jobs a lot more frequently. And I also think youngsters today, they expect to go in at a lot higher a position than maybe we would have been happier with.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I was always of the impression that when you start your career, you're starting at the very bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the junior,
Yeah.
whatever, and you have to sort of gain experience before you can do anything with your career.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a different generation of people now. Are we getting a little bit old? Maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I also think, how people work is different with all this remote working now. I think businesses are different, relying on technology. It's a different world.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I don't think I have any pieces of wisdom that I could share or would share with anybody else, including my younger self, to be honest with you.
Mine would be one, and it was something I heard the other day, and I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was your company didn't know you before you arrived, and they will forget about you as soon as you've left.
Of course they will. They'll forget about you very quickly. As soon as you leave.
If you drop dead today, somebody else will do your job tomorrow. So don't maybe care about it that much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose it does depend on the type of job you're doing. If you're climbing the corporate ladder, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the old style climbing the corporate ladder, that advice is quite relevant. But if you're a freelancer,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as relevant advice, maybe?
No,
I don't know.
No. Well, you're responsible. You're your own boss, aren't you? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the only thing that if I could go back in time and do something different, I'd probably learn more. I'd probably try and learn more, do more training.
Yeah.
And take, as I've grown older and wiser, perhaps not, I found that learning things is enjoyable.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't enjoy study when you were younger.
Yeah, I don't think I really did.
See, I studied probably too much, and I could have done more vocational training than academic.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would definitely say, to any young people, just take every opportunity you can to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy learning.
Yeah, especially if somebody else is paying for the course for you.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay.
Well, anyway, we've got an article from Medium this week, and it's 24 pieces of career advice I wish I'd known earlier. And it's got some interesting things on the list. We're not going to talk about all of them. We're going to let you explore the article. But, the first one, be quiet, work hard, and stay healthy.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how relevant it is, to be honest with you, because I think the be quiet bit.
Yeah.
It tends to be, especially in corporate environments, the people that are quiet who get forgotten.
Yeah. You fade into the wallpaper, don't you? Yeah.
You're just quiet. You're expected to do your job. You don't cause any problems. Whereas if you're noisier and you put yourself out there, you tend to get given more opportunities.
Okay.
I think that's my opinion.
Well, it depends. It depends, I think, on the job. But I thought it was very relevant because I was thinking about everybody's focus on mental health and work-life balance.
Yeah.
So work hard, but also play hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 is very interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody is thinking about you. Yeah. I think lots of people do worry that, everyone is thinking that they're not working hard enough. Did they notice that you arrived 5 minutes late and, are they tutting about you? I think people have got better things to do than worry about what you're doing.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Now, number 5 is embrace learning, which you've just said.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got here, you have to be the driver of your own life career advancement. The boss, mentor, biz can't want you to succeed more than you want it.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the people who are successful really, really drive their own careers.
Mm-hmm.
They make the right decisions for themselves at the right time, and they, I wouldn't say force their advancement, but they certainly make it happen. I think, if you are doing such a good job, your boss doesn't want you to move. Your boss doesn't want you to be promoted into another job because your work is making your boss look good.
Good, yeah. And they're going to have to replace you. They're going to have to train somebody up to replace you. It's going to be a big pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So you should never rely on your boss to put you forward for promotion. You've got to put yourself forward for things in life. That's what I believe.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, if they find out that you're looking to leave and they want to keep you, they'll make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10.
It always takes longer than you think it's going to take. Oh, so true. So what was it today? You kept saying, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, another 10 minutes, another half an hour, another 10 minutes." I still haven't finished.
Everything always takes longer than you think it's going to take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just a fundamental law of life, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose what you should do is allow extra time. But then what's that law, another law that says that at whatever time you give you will make the job fill it?
Yeah. I'm not sure what that law is, but yeah. The work or the task always fills the time given. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about this one? Focus on effort, not outcomes.
Okay. That's interesting. What do you think with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're talking about credit and awards, I mean, you said about the credit will go to your boss.
Yeah.
Feedback, okay, yeah, very nice. The best feedback, though, is negative feedback because it gives you something to build on, to improve on. Good feedback does nothing for you.
Okay.
Apart from saying, well done, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what you want to know is, what can I do better next time?
Yeah.
And that places the emphasis again back on the effort. So I think, people will remember the effort and the work that you do during the process. They won't particularly pay attention to what happened at the end, who got the bonus and all the rest.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure I agree with that.
Okay.
In some jobs, the outcomes, or perhaps another word for your outcomes might be your targets. If you work in sales,
yes,
your targets are your outcomes.
Yeah.
And I do remember one particular guy who I worked with, who seemed to put very little effort in, but was always very, very successful with his outcomes.
What was he doing that was different?
I never figured it out. Okay. I never actually figured it out. I suppose I would use the word jealous of his lack of effort.
Envious.
Yeah. I'll say jealous.
Okay.
At the time, I never figured out what he did, but it's kind of like, he would waltz into the office, whatever time he fancied. He seemed to pick the phone up, speak to one guy, and make a deal.
Wow.
And then after 5 minutes on the phone, he's made the deal. He's filled in whatever paperwork he needed to fill in, and then he's disappeared again for coffee and whatever and things like that. And he did that maybe once a day, every day.
Wow.
Everyone else in the team had to put hours and hours and hours and hours of effort in. He waltzed in, did a deal, went home.
Okay, fair enough. So he didn't need to put much effort in.
No, apparently, I'm sure he must have put lots of effort in somewhere. He just didn't make the effort he was putting in obvious for us to see.
Okay.
It made his managers and his bosses very frustrated because they were trying to manage a team.
Yeah.
And get them, working really hard.
And he was undermining it.
And he was undermining it because he would just walk in, do a deal. I'm done for the day. I'm going for coffee. You want to fire me? I'm your best salesman. Go ahead and fire me. I'm still going for coffee.
Okay. What about number 14? You have to learn whose judgment to trust.
Yes. I think number 15 as well, you need relationships.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah, I think that those two go quite well together. Yeah. You do have to learn whose judgment you can trust. Who can you go to for help and advice? Yeah. And you need relationships in that work environment.
I don't know about you, but I feel that I'm a person that other people have to do. They have to put a lot of work in to get my trust. Okay. I am not just going to blatantly trust somebody. I'm not going to choose to trust them straight away. They've got to give me a reason to trust them before I will trust them.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah. You can't just give your trust away.
Some people do though, don't they? Some people expect it from you.
I think there has to be a certain element of trust. The first day you meet somebody, you trust that they're going to put their effort in to do a good job.
No.
No? You don't trust?
No.
There's no element of trust from the outset?
You've got to prove it first.
Wow, okay.
I'm not giving you anything.
That's harsh.
No, it's not. It's life. It's transactional. You want my trust. You prove that you're worthy of it.
You prove that you're worthy of me giving you my trust. Or me.
Transactional.
Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, you're hard. No wonder it's hard living with you, Rachel.
Okay. Great things take time.
True.
Yeah.
We know that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And it says there, don't be discouraged at the outset. It takes time to build up from nothing. It does. I think the thing is from that, we all have a bad day. We all feel like throwing the towel in. And you've got to use a bad day or a bad experience as an opportunity to assess what went wrong. How can I stop that next time? Why did it go wrong? You've really got to use it as an opportunity, a learning point.
Yeah.
And definitely don't give up. Because if you give up, then you definitely have lost. Whereas if you go back in and you try again, it's like a boxer, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got to pick yourself up and get back in the ring. Exactly. The fight's not over. The fat lady's not singing.
The difference between amateur and professional, number 20.
Yeah.
There are professional habits and amateur ones. Which are you practicing? Is this a pro or amateur move? Ask yourself that constantly.
Ooh, I think that's a bit pretentious.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit. You're if you're working,
Yeah, it's a bit like ego, I mean, who the hell cares whether it's amateur or professional? Is what you're doing working, effective? Does it get good results? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about time? I always think time is the one thing that is the most precious for you to give away. If somebody asks for some of your time, you can't get time back.
That's true.
But the one thing you can give, the most generous thing, is to give somebody your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it says time is the most precious resource. Yeah. If you can afford to delegate it. If you can't yet afford to automate it.
So delegate or automate.
That screams of somebody who's in the younger generation.
Yeah. With their apps on their phone.
Yeah.
But being adaptable, number 23, being adaptable, being able to adapt to new things.
Yeah.
I think we're quite good at that.
We've got to be.
Yeah.
We've got to be. I mean, one of the things I've heard about AI, you have got to, was it Diary of a CEO? He says you've got to lean in not lean away.
Yeah,
so
lean into it.
If there's something you don't know or don't understand, then lean in, engage in it, engage with it, and then you'll be part of how it develops. But if you absolutely turn away from it, then you'll be excluded, discarded.
Yeah.
And so
you'll be irrelevant.
You will. Yeah. So you've got to be able to. I think that's even more important these days.
Yeah. I like that phrase from the Diary of a CEO, lean into something. If it's new and you don't understand it, lean in.
Learn more.
Into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's 24 pieces of advice. I don't agree with all of them.
No, I don't. And there'd certainly be things that I would put on my list that aren't on his list. This is a guy called Ryan Holiday. Obviously, he feels that things are very relevant to him. It's a good article. It's a good starting discussion point.
Yeah.
But I think it does depend on your job, your age, your background.
Yeah. I mean, he does look very young, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah. These young people, they don't know anything.
Mind you, look at the computer in the background on the picture. He's got a very, very old computer. It's got a laptop and an old computer.
Yeah. So that could be an old picture. So he could be old like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Right. Well, have a think. If you've got any tips you'd like to share with us, let us know. Otherwise, we'll speak to you next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.